What's up guys, Jiving back with another video. In today's video, we're going to be going over a ton of useful side jump moves for Arena. We're going to start with the really easy ones, but we're going to move to some advanced ones after that you may not have even seen before. And we'll be breaking down concepts such as directional high walls. Before we hop into the video, please consider using code JIVINTV in the Fortnite item shop, or at least make sure you're using somebody's code because it helps us out a ton. Without further ado, let's get into this video. So if you're new to side jumps in Fortnite, these first moves are going to be the basics that you need to get down before you can move to the more advanced stuff. First one is just side jumping and landing on a floor. The next move is the same thing, but you place ramps beneath you, that way it goes in front of you and behind you. And then we got elevated side jumps. This one, you have to land on the back of the floor so that you land on top of the ramp. The reason this is useful is because it pushes you up an extra layer in your side jump. That way you move up more layers in a shorter amount of time. And then after that, we have another elevated side jump, but this time you land on the ramp facing sideways. To get all these starting side jump tricks down, I just recommend hopping in creative and just simply doing it over and over and over again until you can get it down every single time. So that last side jump that you saw leads us into our first retake with side jumps, which is an elevated side jump into a 180. After doing the 180, you may be on their layer right here, or if they're still up a few layers, this is what you want to do. You want to swing a high wall into place after you do the 180. This will block their angle and give you a chance to piece control them if they're on that one upper layer. Let's check out an in-game example of this retake. So as you can see, this guy is way up on high ground, but then he drops down. He's 2 layers above me, so simply doing this side jump retake will get me right on his layer, and I get him boxed. And I finish it up with a nice counter peek. So at this first part in the retake, I'm just looking to see how many layers up he is. I see he's 2 layers up, and by doing that retake, I got 2 layers up, and I was just right there to piece control him. And then I just did the counter peek. Next retake, we have another pretty simple one to do. It's simply a side jump, wall, window, cone. That's the whole move. You side jump, place a wall, edit a window in the wall, and place a cone over the enemy. This is if they're just 1 layer above you and they're sitting on top of your cone there. That'll give you an opportunity to get them piece controlled and demolished. Check out this in-game example so you can have a better idea. I showed this example in another video, but it fits the concept perfectly. So I see him building right over top of me here, and it's just a perfect opportunity to go for this side jump and cone placement. He tried to go up a layer, but that cone blocked him off, so he just got stuck on my layer, and I was able to piece him up to finish that fight fast. So next up, we're going to another one that I talked about earlier, but we need to go over this so that you can understand the later retakes. So next up is the high wall. This is simply where you swing walls way up above you so they go up 2 layers, and then you build a ramp and you can piece control them through those high walls. When I'm in Arena, I basically am doing high walls every single time I'm on low ground. It's one of the most useful moves in the book, and I definitely recommend just grinding it out in creative until you can do it every single time. Here's one example that I hit the other day. In this situation, he wasn't up on the top layer, but getting the high wall in place gave me an opportunity to piece control him a layer down. As you can see by doing this side jump, I get the high wall into place, and when I get that high wall, I see he's right there, and it looks like he's going up. So I try to piece control through that top wall, and I'm able to get him finished up here with a full box and hitting my shots. So now we're going to be getting into directional high walls. What high walls should you do in different scenarios? First one we're going to be talking about is backwards high walls. This is if somebody's following behind you a few layers above you. As you can see by swinging the high walls behind you instead of to your side, you're able to piece control behind you through the high wall. That's the general idea of it, getting high walls into the position that you want them to be in to piece control your opponent, depending on where they are in the fight. Here's an in-game example, and then we'll get into some other high wall tricks that I haven't actually talked about before. As you can see, it worked perfectly. This was my first time ever trying a backwards high wall. Let's check out why it worked. As you can see, when I swing these high walls into place, you can see the enemy right through this wall. He was behind me in the fight, and by getting these high walls into place, I have a major advantage. I'm able to edit a window and get a cone on top of him, and then just hit my shots to finish it. That move is so good, but let's get into some other crazy ones. So this one is really sneaky. If you're building ramps and you know they're following directly over top of you, whether it be up 2 layers or just up 1, By randomly jumping out the side and swinging high walls into place, you can get them pieced up through this top wall. Here's an in-game example. I choked this one, but I did the move perfectly. As you could see, I was double ramping and then I got him boxed with this move, but I choked my shots. So I knew he was a few layers up in this situation, and so usually when you start ramping in one direction, they follow you up and try to stay above you. So you can see by doing this move, I got right to his lair and I got the wall there so I could piece control him through it. But I missed my shots, so what am I gonna do? I still finished the fight on low ground, but I was kinda sad about that. Anyways, next move. To understand the move, first you need to know how to do this. Do a side jump into 90s. To do this, you need to land on the left side of your ramp when you do an elevated side jump. If you land right here, you can instantly go into 90s after doing your side jump. You won't need to do any adjustments to your positioning, you're just ready to go. So that leads us into the move where you side jump into protected 90s. You can either do it like I'm doing on screen here. After you do the jump, you swing the back walls into place to block your back, or you can do a thwifo cone after you do the side jump and do cone 90s from there. This should get you up above the opponent really quickly and safely. Here's an example of me taking high ground with this move. I had an opportunity to piece him up right away, but I missed it, but I was still able to do this nice little combo to finish it. But let's take a look at the 90s again. I see he's behind me and to my right, so by doing this move, all I had to do was block that angle with the 90s, and yeah, we got instant high ground. We're gonna do another pretty easy side jump move before getting into my favorite one of the video. This move is basically just a side jump into a mongrel. This is for if the opponent is in front of you and one layer up. You just place that wall while side jumping and then you can mongrel through or whatever you want to do. Here's an in-game example. You may have seen it in one of my recent videos. As you can see, I just see him go up a layer and he's moving to the left, so I claim that wall while doing the side jump and I'm able to mongrel right through. Quick way to clean up a fight. But now, let's get into my favorite move of the video. This is basically an elevated side jump with high walls, and it's for ending a fight fast if you're ramp pushing an opponent. So let's say you're ramp pushing somebody and you whip out this move. You can see I get all these walls, so they're ramping right into my full wall piece control. Whichever angle they're at, I can edit through that wall and piece control them through it. Getting this side jump down is really tough, but once you do, you're able to end so many fights right away. I'm gonna show some in-game examples. It took me a while to get it down. This first one, I almost had him pieced up. Right here in the retake, I got that wall on his side. So I built up to it to edit through and piece him up, but he went the other way, sadly. But then I placed a high wall to block his angle, and I was able to continue the fight and win it. Here's an example of an easier way to do this move. You don't need to land on the ramp like I do. That makes it kind of hard to do, but it is better to do it that way. An easier way to do it is like I do in this clip. As you can see, I do not land on the ramp. I simply get the high walls into place and then I jump and then place the ramp. This wastes a little bit of time that could be crucial to ending the fight, but it is easier to do it this way, so if you struggle with the other one, try out this one. Now finally, the moment you've all been waiting for. I did it absolutely perfectly in this clip. I finally got it down, but I didn't hit a very hard shot and I messed up my piece control. Dang it! But it's improvement. I finally did this move perfectly. All I had to do was hit my shots and it would have been a perfect clip. As you can see, I swing that high wall into place and I landed on top of my ramp. You can see that he's right on the other side of that wall, so all I had to do was edit through with a window, piece control from behind cover. If I would have claimed the one wall, I would have had that perfectly, but you know, missed opportunity. I still won that fight though. So we got 2 more side jump retakes to talk about. First one looks complicated, but it really isn't too hard. It's kind of like a misdirection into a high wall side jump. This is used for when the opponent is behind and above you about 2 to 3 layers. It can get you up to their lair fast and give you an opportunity to piece control them with the high wall. This move works so well. Here's an in-game example of me doing it perfectly, but of course, dude, I swear, like, I'm just nervous while doing these new moves, you know, I gotta get used to it. I do it so perfectly and then I miss my shots because I want to hit these clips. Like, dude, I can't. I actually did hit a perfect one, which I'm gonna show at the end, but here, check it. So I do the retake here and I go into the high wall. I see him building a ramp on the other side of that wall, so it's a perfect opportunity to full box them. After full boxing, I back up into my builds again, so I have cover, but I missed my shots. Oi. Alright, so the last one I'm going to show is super tough to do, but it's super stylish. It's a double elevated side jump into a high wall. You can basically do as many side jumps as you want. It takes really good movement, but you can do it for as long as you want and then just end it with a high wall, and a lot of times you can piece control the opponent through that last high wall there. Here's an example of me simply taking high ground with this move. I just did 2 elevated side jumps and then I had high ground, but the opponent boxed up, so it kind of ruined it. I find this retake to be so hard to do, and it's not even that useful in game. I kind of wanted to just do it for this video because I find this to be the hardest form of side jumps, and I thought it'd be a fun challenge. For all of you guys that like to challenge yourselves in arena, this can be something fun for you to do. I did end up hitting this nasty clip with it. So worth it, man. I don't even care. It didn't even take that many tries, to be honest. I didn't do the high wall finish for this retake simply because I didn't have that many mats left, and I saw an opportunity to end it with this move. It worked out perfectly. And this last clip is just me doing a combo of the retakes from this video, and I almost got the dude pre-boxed out the back. He kind of faked me out and didn't go that way, but it was still a good example of putting all those retakes together. Hopefully this video helped you out. If you're trying to learn some of these, take it one step at a time. Just do the easiest one and work your way up. Hopefully this video helped you understand side jumps a little more and their use in the game. If it did, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. Use code JIVENTV in the item shop, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.